welcome back to another video. Today I'm back with something a little bit different. Swansea City have sacked head coach Luke Williams. He was in charge at the club for 13 months. It comes after a really bad string of form. Only one win in 2025. I believe we've lost, I think, 7 or 8 games in that time as well. It was going to happen, at some point inevitably. I think, it's perhaps come at the right time. I was never 100% Williams out. I could understand both sides of it. I think, part of me was a bit like, even if we were to sack him and bring someone else in, realistically, is anything going to change? I guess we'll just have to find out. But then another part of me was like, if nothing's going to change, we may as well get rid of him, because at least we'll have that sort of new manager bounce. And he has had a lot of time now. He's had over a full year here now. Had a few transfer windows, so I think ultimately it is the right time. Looking back on it now, I hope we got a replacement lined up, because with all due respect to Sheehan, he did a fantastic job in between the departure of Michael Duff and the arrival of Luke Williams. But realistically, it's not gonna work for the rest of the season. That was a short space of time, and he did very well, in fairness to him. But I think not only would it be unfair on the fans for us not to appoint a manager for the rest of the season, I don't think it would be fair on Sheehan either. He'd be very much out of his depth, so I think it would be very unfair on him too. But yeah, as I said, I think the Williams, the sacking of Williams comes at the right time. As I said, we're on a really bad string of form. It's a bit disappointing, because I really liked him as a person. I wanted it to work out, I really did. But as time was getting on a little bit, I was thinking more and more, is it really going to work? Is it time for him to go? But as I said, I did like him as a person. I thought his personality and the way he came across was really good. A lot of our fans thought maybe that changed after the West Brom links, and maybe it did. But that is where all the bad performances have come from. It might not be a direct result of that, but it might have something to do with it. It's just a bit of a coincidence that we started dropping off performance-wise and results-wise since he was linked to that West Brom role. But as I said, come across really well in his interview. Seemed like a very, very down-to-earth person, and he definitely loved the club, because with our previous manager in Michael Duff, a lot of our fans didn't like him as a person or as a coach. I can understand why our fans thought that. But I think when it comes to Williams, I think the majority of our fan base, liked him as a person and his personality, but just didn't like him as a coach and a manager, especially towards the end, which I fully get. But as I said, personality-wise, he came across as a great guy, and I really did want it to work, just like I did with Russell Martin. You could argue that Williams didn't get the backing in the transfer windows, but at the same time, it's not as if he's been singled out, because it happens with all our managers, especially in recent years. I think the only one who's actually been allowed to bring in multiple signings was Michael Duff, and look how that turned out. So there's no guarantee. Even if he was able to bring in the players that he would have liked to have brought in, there's no guarantee that the results would have changed, performances would have changed. I guess we'll never know on that. But I do think it's probably come at the right time. I think the turning point for me, in my eyes, looking back on it, as I said, I was never 100% committed to Williams out, just because I thought, is anyone else going to come in and make a difference? If they do, fair play, and I really hope it happens, because although I'm gutted in a sense that he's gone, I do think it's the right time. But I'm also excited, at the prospect of bringing in a new manager, to see who we get. But hopefully we get that new manager bounce, and it is exciting. When you bring in a new manager, it's change, something a bit different. Hopefully it brings a good buzz and energy around the place. But yeah, as I said, for me, the turning point was after that Sheffield Wednesday defeat at home, and my reason being is, we're on that very good run of form towards the end of December, where we got those two wins on the bounce at home against QPR on Boxing Day, and then Luton. So you're on a very good, run of form, performance-wise and results-wise, and then obviously that all changed. We lost 4-0 to Portsmouth. Those links to West Brom, and I think it all went downhill from there. But in my head, I was a bit like, do you know what? Everyone goes through bad phases of form. That it's going to happen. And then obviously when we won against Bristol City, I was like, okay, maybe there's a bit of a turning point here. But it was then when we couldn't back that up against Sheffield Wednesday, it made me think, do you know what? That win against Bristol City was just a one-off win. We can play like that, but we're not doing it regularly enough and consistently enough. So that was the sort of turning point for me, where I was like, yeah, maybe there's the right time for him to go. Regardless of if it's deserved or not, I think there comes to a certain point where you do need change. But yeah, that was a turning point for me. As I said, every club goes through bad runs, and I think, to get one win within that bad run and then not be able to back it up and just go back to how you're performing prior to that, I just think that shows that we're on a very, very bad run of form, and not much is going to change in that respect. Yeah, as I said, came across as a really nice guy. A bit of a shame really, because I really wanted it to work out. But it just didn't in the end, and I think it is the right decision both for him and for the club. Hopefully he goes on and does a good job elsewhere, and hopefully we can bring in the right person and push forward. And I don't think there's any bad feelings there between Williams and the club, not between Williams and the fans, and certainly not for me personally. I as I said, I really liked him, but I think it was probably the best time for both him and the club to part ways. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who we bring in. Obviously, the news has only come out today, so there haven't been too many links about who we're going to bring in. I really don't know who we're going to bring in, to be honest with you. That is kind of exciting as well. You did just see that John Eustace got sacked from Blackburn, who were in the playoffs, and he's just gone and signed now for Derby, who are in a worse position than us. So maybe if we sacked him a few weeks before, maybe we would have got him, but there's a high chance he would have turned us down. He has turned us down before, so I guess we'll never know on that either. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see who we get. It'd be nice to bring Russell Martin back. I think that would be very good. I think my fans might be a bit 50-50 on that. Same with Steve Cooper. Or that there's maybe shouts of bringing in someone like Gary Monk or Alan Tate, which I don't think will happen, but it'd be pretty good if we do that. But I think there's also a very high chance that it will be Alan Sheehan until the rest of the season. But I do think we need to get a replacement in, just because there is still a lot of time left in the season, and let's not forget we are getting dragged in closer and closer to that relegation battle. So we do need to make an appointment quick. But yeah, we have had some good memories with Luke Williams, most notably the 2-0 win at home against Cardiff last season. I think that was the most notable victory under Williams. Yeah, other than that, nothing too major, but we've had some fairly good memories, some good wins and some good performances. But I think ultimately he just paid the price, I guess. And it didn't work out, but hopefully we can get somebody in, and hopefully we can get somebody in quick, because we don't want to be going into the summer with no manager, because I think if we get someone in now, they've got that little bit of time then to get used to the group of players they have, and try and look about bringing players in the summer. So I think if you bring someone in now, it gives them that bit of time to get ready for pre-season, because when you bring someone in the summer, it isn't really enough time to get them used to the club and how the club goes about things, ready for the new season. So I think it would be very good if we could bring someone in sooner rather than later. I've also seen the fan forum has been postponed as well. Maybe it was only a recent decision to get rid of Williams, rather than something that's been thought about for a long time. Because that was meant to be tomorrow, that fans forum, but it'll be moved now. Maybe we'll have a new manager in by then. But yeah, hopefully we bring someone in soon. But yeah, as I said, I think ultimately it was the right time for him to go. And hopefully we can bring someone in very, very soon. But yeah, once again, a massive thanks for watching this. I will be back very, very soon for another video. You know, hopefully it'll be about us announcing a new manager, but if not, it will be my next match preview. So yeah, once again, a massive thanks for watching this, and stay tuned for the next one.